series. We are down to, boy, I tell you what, a Bracket B championship double dip opportunity right now. Gary Bearpaw against Kaleb Hurt. Kaleb, the higher seed at number 13, against Gary, the number 25 seed. They are underway, and frame number one is happening. I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, next to Philip Barnett, who you must be exhausted, not just from talking about matches, from playing in matches.
Absolutely.
You just saw your doubles partner there go down. Russell Tabers in a hard-fought match against Kaleb Hurt, but he battles Gary Bearpaw here in this Bracket B championship final. So,
and Kaleb strikes first with a 4-point round.
yes, he does. And then we have seen this matchup time and time again, side by side against one another in singles last night, in doubles today with regard to the Hurts and Gary playing. So now the question becomes, when do the odds change and the results change? Right now,
you can bet you're going to see a lot of blockers right there in the center of the board of Mr. Hurt.
No question. And this game has all the makings of a, oh my God, what time is it? Is the sun coming up kind of match anyway, because both of these guys have such great command of the center of the board, and that's really what you need to have. And there's another 8-bagger right there, which we've become accustomed to seeing. Kaleb holds on to that 4-0 lead. But in the other division, in Group A, we have Drew Waking, who just took down Isaac Hurt out of the main bracket there on the winner's bracket. So,
and he's locked in a match right now with Cole Brewer.
Cole Brewer and
and the winner of that takes Austin Thomason.
So we've got a ways to go, but we've got plenty of time and plenty of mouth to get there. I'll tell you that. Between the two of us, we got this covered. So
yes, sir.
There's a bag laid short by Kaleb, and Gary's able to sneak around that. It's a little bit further left probably than Kaleb would have liked, but he's going to go ahead and try to collect it.
How about Cole Brewer making it to the Final Four in the World?
Yeah, how about that?
Bradenton, Florida.
Good stuff
and
right
here
there.
He is right here just battling everybody.
Somehow Gary able to take his bag up to the top right and gather one for Kaleb, and then he puts one off the back. That's no good whatsoever for Gary Bearpaw. So that's going to be a problem, and ultimately it's going to be a 7-0 lead here. And you can follow along on Scoreholio if you have Scoreholio as the program. If you're new to the ACO, that's the tournament software that helps you really run a flawless tournament.
Yeah.
And hats off to Ryan LaBelle and Whitney Garner and a handful of others who have pulled this off. Brian Jones and
April and Chris is working from home.
April and Chris, when they are behind the scenes, absolutely. Runs like, as we like to say, runs like Clark.
Yeah, like Clark. Look at that. Got a baby shark standing up there.
Fan up there in the middle. It often is referred to as a dirty diaper when it sits out alone. But yeah, when it's amidst all those other bags, yeah, little baby shark. Oh, and Gary.
I think it stayed up.
Stuck up there. I don't think nothing fell. I think it's all sitting up top.
I think it's 8 on 8.
So, yep, it's a wash right there.
Yep.
So we're going to stay on 7-0. Kaleb Hurt continues to hold that lead over Gary Bearpaw again in this Bracket B championship final. It's a double dip situation right now. So the king seat belongs to Gary Bearpaw. So Kaleb's going to have to beat him twice to move along in the bracket. But for those who are following along on the YouTube channel, make sure that you take a second to subscribe and also hit that bell. Make sure you set up yourself for those notifications when we post new content. It's not just new match content, but there's also some great classic match contests, some instructional content, whatever it is you're looking for in the world of cornhole, we will have it there for you. There's up and over, and it just sits up top. Nothing is going to break.
Pile of mess.
That's a big old pile of mess.
Pile of mess, nothing underneath.
We talk about it's going to be a little bit of a laundry basket. These guys live to fight another frame, as they always do. 7-0. Kaleb over Gary Bearpaw, and they gather their weaponry and they move to the next frame. We're glad to have you along for the ride. And thanks again to our friends here at the Century Center, South Bend, Indiana. Great Thanksgiving weekend. Everybody seems to have had a really good time. The ACO family enjoying family time here, and so much great competition going on throughout the course of the weekend. We had really good stuff from our vendors and our friends that spent time over the course of the weekend in the main competition area. It was really just a great weekend overall. We couldn't have been happier with the results of both the competition and just the fan participation. Everything.
Oh, that's just a bad bag by Gary.
That's too bad right there.
Yeah.
That's going to cost him a couple more. 11-0 is Kaleb Hurt to Gary Bearpaw, and ultimately we'll find out exactly.
11-0. Did you see this coming, Finn?
No, I didn't, because the thing is, and this is, and ultimately this is we've talked about this. Both of these guys are a 1 or a 2 point. We had an occasional unicorn where you see a 5 point given up by Kaleb Hurt, but it's usually 1 point, 2 point, maybe a 3, maybe one off the back, and that gives you a 3. But boy, I tell you, you do not expect to see an 11-0 deficit between the two of these guys, and you don't expect to see somebody come back from an 11-0 deficit either. And if you look over to the demeanor of Anita Bearpaw, Gary's wife, I think she's thinking the same thing we're thinking.
I think she's tired.
Well, she might be. She very well may be. So these guys gather their bags, 11-2. Gary picks up a couple, and that's how it begins. That's how the comeback begins. But 2 at a time, is that going to be enough? Will Kaleb allow that many 2s? Is he going to allow, 9 more 2s to happen right there?
Yeah, really. And he got one out of play right there. Kaleb's going to take advantage, probably pick up 2 right here. Oh, and that's a rare mistake. And that's going to be 3 more for Kaleb.
When he let it go, honestly, Phil, when he let it go, it looked like he's like, I got to play, I got to go home.
Yeah, well.
I feel like as much as I don't want to say this, because I watched Gary play enough, I feel like he is saying, I've had enough of this.
The problem is, he's got to play another game if Kaleb wins.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe he's just foregoing this game. Let's go into the second game.
Yeah, get it over with.
Win your wife a trinket there. Oh, and he's not getting the breaks that he usually gets. That's just nasty.
It's not even fair.
I don't know any other way to put it.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
That's what I'm saying. Eric just said, you do not understand how good that shot is.
Yeah.
It's that hard of a shot.
18-2 tells the tale right now.
But they make it look so easy, him and his brother.
And I guess the thing that, as you watch these guys and you hear the name and you hear the repetition of the name and you hear the repetition of the comments like you just made about how good that is, when you really have to. It's like, and I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it because it's happening right now. I had a conversation earlier today with my mother, and she said, well, I did what you asked. I watched the World Cup game. I watched the U.S. versus England. I said, yeah, what'd you think? She goes, boring. And I'm like, no, not boring. 0-0 tie, not boring. That game should have been 5-0 England, but they play. She goes, all defense. It was all defense. I go, that's what happens. And a 0-0 in the U.S.-England game is a win for the U.S. It really is. And you got to understand, if you don't play this game, you don't understand how difficult it is to do what they're doing. Look at that shot right there. That's a really nice shot by Gary. But, you two, you're sandwiching me here, and you both commented on how hard that is to do what he did. And that's how this works. Mm-hmm. You have to know. You have to understand. Look at that.
Oh, this could be a big round.
That's big. That's
4.
Big right there. That's going to be a 4 spot.
Yeah, but
for Gary, so it
he's
keeps
dug himself a hole trying to dig out.
Keeps him in the game, but
well, wherever Robert is, hello, Robert.
At the same time, where's that?
Okay. Don't know where that's coming through. But Robert is on top of it.
I'm going to tell you right now, Robert needs to get his act together.
Yeah.
But we talk about that. If you don't play, you don't understand just how good.
No,
some of
no,
these
no,
shots
you
are.
don't.
And these guys just step up there and make it look so damn easy. And the phrase "just because I make it look easy doesn't mean it is easy" comes to mind. But man, oh man, we just watched
And
these
that
guys.
just ended the first game.
That did it. All right, that's going to cost Gary a win in game one. So 21-6 is game one, but it's a double dip situation because Gary comes in as the king seat holder.
Yeah.
And he has to be double dipped. So now Kaleb has to regroup. Gary has to regroup. Gary gets his bags in hand. He gets the first bag here in the second game because he is actually the lower seed, even though he holds the king seat. He puts his toe right there on the line.
I think it still goes. I think it still goes over here to the higher seed.
I think
Higher seed.
Oh, it is.
That's just when we do the 2 out of 3 games. This is a doubles dip situation, totally different.
Oh. Well, welcome to the nonsense.
Hey, how
that is
about
my
me
knowledge.
getting it right one time?
Yeah. You know what? What do they say about a blind squirrel and a nut? No, I got to be honest with you. I'm a squirrel with 27 eyes and never see the right thing.
Yeah, I know that's right.
So how does that happen?
I
Explain
mean,
that to me
every
again, God damn
game.
it, I'll be honest with you. Every single time it seems like the rules change.
Every game when you're playing in this main bracket, the higher seed has the choice of whatever.
Even on a 2 or 3.
Yeah. No, the 2 or 3 is something totally different.
No, I don't.
I just explained it.
Is that right? A double? He did. So it's in a double dip situation, the higher seed always goes first. But in a best 2 or 3, you switch out. I do not recall that being the case.
The higher seed goes first the first game. The lower seed goes first the second game. If it goes to a third game, the higher seed goes first.
Okay. I do not recall that being the case. I feel like I've seen exactly the opposite in the past, but I'm the one that knows the least about this as we move forward. So let's continue on. Look at that. Look at that.
Nice bag.
Nice bag there by Gary Bearpaw. He collects and he leaves that open middle there for
Well, here's what happens.
Kaleb Hurt. Gary starts out with a little 2-0 lead after being taken down 21-6 in game one.
Here's what happened, fans, okay? So, me and you are going season. We've been playing all season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I earned the right to be a higher seed than you.
Mm-hmm.
Every game in the main bracket, I got the choice to go first and decide and which bags, okay? So that's where we're at. In that Pro Series, they play at best 2 out of 3, so that's why they flip-flop them. Okay?
Gotcha.
It's just those seeds are earned through the SCR.
Cool.
Okay, we good?
Yep.
Am I right, Eric?
Yep. Till the next time when I forget.
We can play that back a couple times.
Till the next time when I forget, we have to go through all that shit again. All right, fair enough. Oh, all right.
Is it late at night?
It might be just a touch before midnight.
Yeah.
Gary holds a 4-0 lead, as you would expect, over top of Kaleb after having dropped game number 1, 21-6. But the good news is, after this, we only have another 7 hours to go.
There you go. After this game,
I got to figure out how to clock in overtime.
After this game, we probably only have one more game.
Oh, I would probably violently disagree with you.
No, this ends this bracket.
I'm going to sit here and moderate your argument.
I understand where you're going.
The good news and the bad news is exactly the same.
We're going to be here for a while.
That's exactly right. And by good news, I mean good news, and by bad news, I mean good news. I'm going to talk to Frank Gears, who is the driving force behind everything that is going on, and we're going to push for double time, overtime.
Later at night, right? Later it gets as 11:51
If
Eastern.
if the plan is to wrap things up during the same 24-hour period you plan to drive home, you are working on double time.
I'm in.
Look at these guys now. I'm telling you what, though, Gary has really dialed it in, and he is. I mean, the guy is just. It's beautiful to watch. I know it sounds crazy, but he is just so much fun to watch play. And we've talked about Kaleb, we've talked about Isaac, we've talked about a handful of these guys so much, but every time we talk about Gary, it's the same commentary, and that is
Down the middle.
just wonderful to watch. And I wonder, is he ever going to have to change his game to become more offensive and aggressive if he wants to become the king of cornhole?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got the potential to be the king of cornhole.
Yeah, there's no question.
We could be looking at either one of these guys right now.
Except for the fact that his game is so consistently solid, but people have figured out a way to play around the solid nature of his game.
Well, I know Caleb's. He thinks he's got it figured out, and he's going to grab a couple points right here too. By the way.
Oh, he's gonna lay low. He came in hot and low. Oh, Gary's going up
went
and
home.
over.
He got one to go right
dropped
there.
one and left one off the back, but that's gonna.
I think Gary might have struck some gold right there. Yeah.
That's gonna.
No, Kaleb got one.
Yeah, sacrifice 1 point, but I tell you, that was the aggressive nature we were talking about. He's gonna have to stop playing pretty and start playing ugly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. And your point is, last night he got really aggressive with some air mails, missed them, and then he went back into conservative mode, and which I think ultimately cost him the game.
But you don't see Gary play aggressively very often. He only did it when he felt like he had to, and then he was under pressure to do it. I wonder if he start more aggressive and try to put the hammer down on some opponents. Would that change things?
Oh.
Good Lord, it sounds like we're in the middle of an air raid.
We are. When they start shooting them air mails.
Hell yeah, we could be at any point.
That's
But,
right.
Kaleb down 8-3 to Gary Bearpaw. Kaleb took game 1, 21-6.
Nice shot right there. Swish.
Really nice shot there. And Kaleb is going to have to try to push hard. He leaves one out of play, and Gary's going to go up and over top.
That's the aggressiveness I want to see out of Gary.
That's what we were talking about. So there's that double push. He's going to clear things up. Gary doesn't have to throw the airmail. Now he can just take
picks
the middle.
up 2 points.
He's going to take 2 at the worst. Right now, as long as he puts this through, and he does.
Oh, he does.
And that drives me nuts.
It's driving him nuts too right now. I can tell you that.
It drives me crazy because I know, like I said, we've talked about this a number of times. I know what needs to be done. I just can't do it. These guys can do it. These gals can do it. And when you get that fourth bag blues, when you're supposed to, and there's that bag laid out there from Kaleb, it's that blocker bag that you know drives
in the
Gary
dead
nuts.
center. It's always in the middle of the board too.
It's his ability to measure that. He tried to do it again, but he actually accidentally put it in, and that's what's so crazy. I'm going to lay a blocker. Worst case scenario, it's going to go in. That one maybe not so much, but Gary then lays low, and he's not able to do that. So there's a chance to take all 3 in right there, and he does. Oh, he didn't. He bounced off to the left. I thought there's a great chance for Gary right there, and he takes one. Nicely done. So he picks up a couple right there. He's going to go 10 on 3. But, yeah, it makes me crazy when I know they can do it and there's a wide open board and they don't do it. It's the part of the game that since I don't play it, it goes back to like I was talking about World Cup soccer. Since I don't play, I don't get it. And we're back to talking like librarians, by the way.
And what I say is, we say the last bag booze. 90% of the people, including myself, will rush that bag.
Yeah.
Just soon, hey, I got the hole open, rush, and it just doesn't go where you want it to go.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see if Gary knocks these in with the airmail. No,
He's
gonna
going
try to
low and
push.
hard, try to push it through. He doesn't get it.
Very conservative like.
Caleb's going to lay low. Oh, he tried to roll one up over the top. It just sat there. Not so much.
That
So
was almost a hell of a shot right there.
Gary holds on to 10 on 3. It's a 7-point deficit, trying to regain game number 2 and a best 2 out of 3 right now to move on out of the championship, out of the Bracket B final. You see he's got his bags gathered up by design and in hand, right hand.
And I think Drew just took down
Swings it and rings it.
Cobra.
All right, so Drew Waking
in
in his red, white, and blue flag hoodie. He continues on.
He may be over here on center court next against Austin Thomason.
Austin Thomason, who is one of those names that you've heard time and time again as we discuss, runner-up last year in the King of Cornhole battle against our current king, Craig Irvin. But Austin, you mentioned him too. You said, how many crowns will he hold? And the thing is, we talk about the Hertz, we talk about Isaac, we talk about Kaleb, but man, Austin Thomason, I mean, there's a handful of other names that could be there. And, is there a chance that maybe never a Hurt becomes king?
You know what? There's something that keeps them out of that winner's circle when the Worlds kicks in.
Yeah.
There's something. It's something they need to figure out, too.
They are doubles champions from
but
season.
not a singles.
Yeah, world champions. But as far as becoming the king of Cornhole, can one of them separate themselves enough in the bracket to get out and become the singles king of Cornhole up until
No, it's a beautiful shot.
What a great shot. Can one of them do that? Who knows? There's another.
Oh, in there.
Gary
now.
takes a chance. He's got a 12 on 3 lead. He might as well. And there comes the
He
more
just gives
push.
up one, no?
All right, so the question becomes, how do they convert a doubles championship into a King of Cornhole championship, and which one of them would it be? But so many other names, like you mentioned, Austin Thomason. Could it be Drew Waking out of proverbially nowhere?
Oh, yeah.
Could it be him?
I actually met Drew last year at something. I said, this kid can throw.
Yeah.
And look where he's at now. He's over there playing Austin Thomason for the championship of that bracket. As Big Gary, the winner of this game, wins this bracket.
Kaleb Hurt 21-6 over Gary Bearpaw in game number 1. Right now, Gary holds a 12-4 lead as they head into this final throw in this frame. Gary takes a bag, confidently lays it up, puts it right in the center. That's going to be a
12 on 10 for 2 more.
Another
and we saw Kaleb get behind last night.
Couple of points, yeah. Kaleb
and just start chipping away and chipping away.
Doesn't bother him.
No.
He's very confident. I mean, he has an entire
well, he's ready to throw his hat right there after that last round.
No, he has a wall full of trophies that would certainly lead to that confidence. So now Gary steps up. He still holds first bag. He's going to grip it and rip it and let it go. Very nicely done, as he always does.
Right down the center.
Push it through. Oh, he's going to lay low and ultimately figure out if Gary wants to push through, and he does.
Gary's just going to get very content just bumping his bag in.
Yeah, if we just want to keep that, knowing that there is that roll bag coming out of the...
And he'll just stack them up.
Right hand of Kaleb Hurt. Oh,
no, that was dead center.
Really nice airmail. And then Gary's going to go up and try for his own airmail and rolls one off the back of the board. All Kaleb has to do.
And that's going to be just a push.
That's amazing. He decides to go to try to make the kill, go in for the kill. Leaves one off the back, gets the wash, 14 on 4. Carry over Kaleb.
I'll tell you what we need to try to keep eye on right here is Gary. He missed a couple airmails there. Is he going to go back into conservative mode?
I don't think he will. I mean, there's a big pile up front that he had to go up and over.
Yeah.
But I think if he has the opportunity to just take one over a low block, I think he will. I mean, consequently, if they're just going to do this up the middle,
there's Gary, another opportunity to pick up 2.
Yeah, he don't have to worry about that.
No.
If that middle's open like that, and look at that though,
He tried to move it.
He drags that bag back in. Gary's going to go ahead and take bag 3 number right down the center.
And there's another couple points you're going to get away from him.
Yep, he is. He's going to let those get away. That's exactly right. And I don't understand that at all.
No.
Now, that said, these guys are so good. They understand what they're up against. We get out, readjust, make sure that the boards are exactly where they need to be.
But they're back-to-back. That's back-to-back twos that Gary let get away.
Yeah, they collect.
Score should be 18 to 4,
18
you know?
on 4, and that's the thing. It's 14 on 4, and against Kaleb Hurt, you do not want to leave points on the table. Now, it's a great first bag just to say, all right, well, let's do this. There's a blocker thrown down by Kaleb. Is Gary going to pile it up? Yes, he does. Now he's going to force
Kaleb can get that back.
Decision. He's going to come in low and hard. He left that one up close to about the 5 o'clock position. Oh, Gary cleans him up, but now he's got one sitting there saying, what about me?
Oh, and Kaleb left that
Caleb's
off.
going to make sure it stays there out on the island. Good
Very
ball from
nice.
Gary. Is there any way he's able to push that off? I almost said the
That
F
is
word.
not freaking fair, man.
Those are the F words I was looking for. Frickin' fair.
Yeah, freaking fair.
those are the ones.
Double F's.
Dude, there was no reason in the world that
No.
that bag should have been placed
Not at
there
all.
as an opportunity for later. There's no reason at all unless you are
Kaleb
Kaleb
Hurt.
Hurt. 14 on 6. Gary holds the lead in game number 2. Kaleb took game number 1, 21 to 6. Glad to have you along for the ACO Digital Network YouTube channel premiere of this game. All these games will
Nice.
be curated here for you to go back and watch later, but I'll tell you something. There's nothing like seeing it from DC.
No
China,
lie.
man. I'm dying. It's killing me because it is like machinery watching the
Look
Chico
at
go.
that. That's
What a great
nasty.
roll shot. It's just sick. Oh, and Gary misses off
Yep.
to the right just a little bit. And he's going to stand and eyeball that. They're going to exchange taters, but Gary's going to eyeball that one.
2 for Kaleb.
And he's going to give up 2. So 14 on 6 becomes 14 on 8. And did you see him stand there and look? He wouldn't move. He looked. It was like he was looking at that bag going, is that what I told you to do? Why don't you jump in there, my friend? Kaleb takes
I talk to
first
my
bag.
bags all the time. I just want to let you know.
Well, we saw a lot of that. We saw Carol, the Waz.
Yeah.
We saw her talking to her bag. She coaxed a couple in, I think, verbally in the women's championship. So Waz, our ladies champion. We had Craig Irvin, our king, who earlier today grabbed a little extra cash in the Game Zone Challenge. He had a lot of fun. I think congratulations to Isaac Hurt, who took the Pro Series Championship out from there's one off the back, out from under Kaleb, who was working for the three-peat.
Oh,
What
wow.
a great shot. That's really nice.
That's 3 more for Mr.
And
Bearpaw.
what's crazy is he just stood up and did it. He didn't think about it. He didn't think himself out of it. He just threw it up there. He knew he could get it. And that's got to be driving him nuts. Driving him nuts that he should have been able to do that in game number 1.
Oh, yeah.
He's got
I think he
one.
just wanted, toward the end of that game, he just wanted to get that game over. Let's start fresh.
Yeah,
And play.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But this one right here sits up a little bit high left, and Kaleb says, all right, thank you very much. I'll take what you give me. These boards, design-wise, give you a very direct pathway to the sweet spot.
I wish I could find it all the time. Good finish. Gary gonna finish strong. Give up 2. He's shaking his head. Yep.
All right, so 17 on 6 becomes 17 on 8, and there is an opportunity, and the Hurt Locker continues to watch and cheer on that maybe there's going to be a finish, a best 2 out of 3. And we will continue to keep an eyeball on these guys here at center court as Kaleb takes first bag. He lays one low. It's a blocker that he's accustomed to throwing against Gary, and Gary goes in lower and says, all right, well, if you think you're going to make that an offensive weapon, I'm going to make you do it. Kaleb lays one up to the left. That's going to be out of play, but we've said that before. Well, that one's definitely out of play off the back left side. When that push through, Gary leaves that center is wide open. A little bit of a bunch, but he should be able to collect all these. Oh, he's going to
That's going to be 3 more for Kaleb, I
lay up
believe.
to the right side. So 17-11 now as Kaleb decides he's going to make a little bit of a backstretch run here at Gary Bearpaw. Again, 21-6 was the result. Kaleb over Gary in game number 1 on this Bracket B championship. Ultimately, we watch these other players on the other courts that are working their way towards center court for the singles championship here in South Bend. Again, at the Century Center. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO. Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja, who also played deep in pool play and then got out of pool play and then deep into the brackets, both in doubles and singles. But, Bud, I got to be honest with you. Talk to me about the pressure of center court.
Dude, when you come over here,
if it was right now, would you be able to hold up against this pressure?
Oh, you know, I just throw like I normally throw, and it is what it is. But because I've been around a while, but you got a new guy come up on center court, and they see it for the first time. We saw it with Carol. Carol lady.
Carol,
she was nervous as a cat in a long-tailed cat in a room full of rockers the first time, man.
Hey, I knew what you were going to say there.
But then she righted the ship and just threw bags, man.
Yeah, she did. And sometimes you get nerves, sometimes you get the steel, sometimes you get the nerves of steel. But I'll tell you, it was fun to see some new players come out. But it is always, and I know it sounds strange to say, but it's always a pleasure to see the cream of the crop rise to the top, which they always do. And it doesn't mean they're unbeatable. It just means you've got to put in the work to beat them, and that is it. So 17-13, Gary Bearpaw over top of Kaleb Hurt. They update their stats. You can find their PPRs on Scoreholio if you'd like, but honestly, we're just more the numbers we're interested in are the ones that lead to 21.
There you go.
Ultimately, that's who's going to determine who is going to be our singles champion here tonight on the ACO Digital Network.
You know, I see Kaleb talking to himself more than he normally does. And Gary with another opportunity. And listen, he's had 3 or 4 opportunities. He's been sitting. Last night he got stuck on 18. And right now he's been stuck on 17 for a long time.
Yes, he is.
And as he does, Kaleb just keeps creeping up and creeping up.
It's what he does. And what's funny about Kaleb will creep up on you 1 point, 2 point, 3 point if he's behind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, occasionally we've seen where we didn't expect
That's a nice bag.
him give up a 5 spot, maybe a 6 spot, rarely a 7. But what's fun is he can do that and still creep up 2 at a time and get back up on you because you think you've got him right where you want him. Well, he's got you right where he wants you, and that is pitching against him. It's not a score thing. It's just, hey, it's you against me.
Absolutely.
It's going to be me. So there you have it. So 17-13, Gary Bearpaw continues to hold the lead on game number 2. We got to get him off 17. You're exactly right. If he's gonna,
I don't think he wants to score just one either.
No, he wants to put that 4 up top hard.
Oh, and there's another mistake by Gary.
Out of play, and he leaves that bag for
And that might be a mistake by Kaleb.
Kaleb, probably the way he's been playing, should be able to grab those and take them both because he's been doing that.
I don't know if he can get them both, but he might can step out and get one of these right
He's
here.
going to step out and push hard.
And
he bunched it up.
You know, he's glad to see that bunch up. Mr. Bearpaw. And we're going to take a
timeout because nothing says 12:10 a.m. like a timeout.
Is it really?
I'll pretend I'm lying to you, but I'm not.
Good thing I live on Central Time.
No, I don't think it is. No,
You don't, I do.
Yeah, when you go home, it will be.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm trying to figure all angles to try to score some points. Let's see what he does.
Well, he's coming in low and hard. He plays one off the back.
And I don't know. Let's see. Gary has nothing right now in the tank.
He's trying to figure out how he's going to get his 2 bags. He's got.
Yeah,
he's
he
got,
needs 4 to win.
He's got 1 low and 1 at 3 o'clock, but he's just going to lay it up and sit
That
on
is
the
the
board.
conservative Gary I did not like.
I tell you. And
Just let me tell you something. The back of the hole's open. He could have and won the game right there.
if he had and one, that would
Yeah.
have been, and the and one being an airmail and pushing
Yes.
one of Caleb's bags off the back. But I think he was trying to figure out how did he move those 2 that he had in front
Yeah.
with Caleb's on top and not give something up and risk. But you're right, no risk, no reward. 18 on
Absolutely.
13. Gary may regret that decision coming down the line, especially if this is how we're going to play the remainder of this match, straight up the middle and wait for somebody to make a mistake, which is so big a part of what we've
Yeah.
talked about all week. Well, not just all weekend, all season long. Who's going to sit around and wait for somebody to make a mistake? And if you're playing your game to sit around and wait for one of the hurts to make a mistake, you are always going to be the mistake.
Absolutely. You cannot
Look at
cannot
that
play
right
for
there.
the,
It's a perfect example.
And I think that might be 4 points to make it 18-17.
Perfect example of what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
And I'd like somebody to clip that out, and I will use that as my resume for announcing for the rest of my career.
I can call that. And middle blocker. Oh, it just went a little hard.
Yeah, that was one of those blockers that accidentally became a
Yep.
bag in the hole.
And Gary, he's got to be on his mind last night how Caleb came back. And once again, another little conservative shot by Gary.
And last night he was hung up on 18. Tonight,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, he's hung up on 17. I'm trying to keep my voice very low.
Don't say that out
so
loud.
he can't hear me because I don't want Nita to get mad at me.
Oh,
All right, he knows what needs to be done. Can he do it? He's going to go lay low.
oh yeah, that's going to be a wash.
That's gonna
8 on
be
8.
A very careful wash right there because that bag was, well, no, actually Caleb's bag wasn't laying in there tight.
I think you got to try to land that right on the very front of the board. Any vibration moves that, but there's a brace right up under that front stuff.
So I like to refer to this time of the evening as the ventriloquism part of the evening, where no matter what's said, I try to make it look like
We're going
you
to
said it.
apologize for some stuff that we said.
Well, I just want to make it look like you said it because I didn't move my lips. 18 on 17. Gary Bearpaw holds the lead in game number 2 over Caleb Hurd. Caleb took
Oh,
game
and this
number
going to be it.
120
Caleb's fixing to steal another victory from
Is he going
Gary.
to do it? Is he going to do it?
Maybe not. He done it. He left that open right
He
there.
left it wide open. Gary's going to come in low and try to
And that's going to
stick
be
it up
it.
there. That's going to do it. All right. Well, Caleb Hurd, he's going to take that game right there. He moves out of the underdog position there, and he takes 21 to 18. He
Wins
on
bracket
top
B.
of 21-6. The winner of bracket B is going to be Caleb Hurd, 21 to 18 over Gary Bearpaw, and it took him a minute to get it done. 21 over 6, 21 over 18. Bracket B, our champion is going to be Caleb Hurd. Congratulations, and we will continue here from center court in the ACO South Bend Major and Champions Pro Series in just a few moments on the ACO Digital Network.